Hi, this is Sam Antonio with Liberty News Network. I'm over here at the Crazy Horse Memorial, and we have a great opportunity to interview this wonderful lady. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the camera.
My name is Ruth Ziolkowski. I'm the wife of Korczak, who started the project.
Great. Now, I came here in 2005, and of course, like most visitors, I came to visit Mount Rushmore first. Then I found out about this memorial, and I came out to it, and I was so enthralled about the story, and not over the memorial, but the family behind it. And that's why I'm here today, because your story is just as compelling as it is with the memorial. One thing I found very interesting was that your late husband stated that he would not take federal funds to complete this project, that it was all privately funded. Could you just go ahead and talk about why he stated that, why he just wanted private funds, private donations to complete this memorial?
Well, I think he had several reasons for it. In the first place, he loved this country, no question about it. He volunteered for service in World War II. But he also saw how Guts and Borglum struggled at Mount Rushmore, and the long periods of time he would spend in Washington trying to get funds while people were working at Rushmore, and he didn't know where the next paycheck was going to come from. And he said, you know, we're a nation of individuals. And he said, I believe in private enterprise. And if this project is going to be built, it's going to be built by the American people. We owe a debt to the American Indian. They've asked for a mountain carving so that the white men will know the red men have great heroes also. And he said, if it's supposed to be built, the American public will help me build it. And he also said he wasn't a very good politician. If he had to go to Washington or lie to people, he couldn't remember from one day to the next what lie he told, so he just decided this was the best way to go. But he was a great believer in private enterprise and individual initiative.
Oh, great.
He believed from the very beginning, and I met him when I was 13 and have learned the same thing. You can do anything in this world you want to do if you're willing to work hard enough and pay the price. Nothing is impossible. I mean, we put a man on the moon, for heaven's sakes. Carving a mountain, we ought to be able to do that.
Speaking of what you said, you met him when you were age 13. How did you first two meet?
He lived just about a block down the street from my family, and Richard Bennett, the movie actor, was visiting Korczak, and there were a group of us who collected autographs, and we went down and knocked on the door and wanted to meet Mr. Bennett and get his autograph. And Korczak was very obliging, and Mr. Bennett came downstairs and met us all and signed our autograph books, and he had his little dachshund dog with him, and Korczak was standing over the corner very much in the background, and I honestly don't remember who. Somebody felt sorry for him and asked him for his autograph, and then from there on in he started to carve the Noah Webster statue, and it was just one of those things. The whole group pitched in and mowed lawns and helped and started a fife and drum corps, and everything just grew. And then in '39, Standing Bear came back to visit Korczak, and he spoke at our school. And I think he was the first American Indian that any one of us, or anybody in the class for that matter, had ever seen.
Now, your husband, when he started this project, he worked on his own for many years until he met you. Then you had 10 children, 5 girls and 5 boys. How was it like raising your children in this environment?
It was wonderful when you look back on it and you see what life is now. And of course, that was the only thing I knew. So it was really fun, and the children were a great joy. They really were. Korczak loved children, always had, and was so tickled to have some of his own. So he was just happy with the kids. He was a good disciplinarian, great father, wonderful teacher, and he'd play sports with them on Sunday afternoon, and he wanted them to listen to the opera. They'd teach him Johnny Cash. I mean, it was kind of a offset.
Now, of the 10 children, how many are involved in the project today?
We have 6 who are involved in the project. We lost a daughter, Ann, and the other 3 live in Custer. So they're all within 9 miles, within 4 miles.
So do you have your children still actually working on the mountain, actually carving?
Casimir works up there, Monique works up there, Adam works down here most of the time, and then the other girls work here and help me.
You know, I've traveled quite extensively, and there's two landmarks that I like to see done in my lifetime. One of them being in Barcelona, Spain, Antonio Gaudi's La Sagrada Familia, and of course this monument here. I'm sure you get this question a lot. When do you anticipate, or will this monument ever be completed, or do you want it to ever be completed?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's no question. The mountain carving itself definitely will be completed. I mean, as far as working on it is concerned. But included in carving the mountain, and really the reason for it in a sense, is building a university, a medical training center, and the museum, which we have the beginning of, for the Indian people of North America. But the mountain, yes, very definitely. But when, I have no idea. Korczak said if it stops because he died, his life would have been wasted. And if you keep that in the back of your head, you know that you're going to keep on working. And I don't think there's any question but that the ones who are here now will continue.
You know, it's been said that a painter adds to a canvas as he paints, but the sculptor takes away, because what's in there is already essentially in the stone, but you're taking away. This is unique because this is the largest mountain sculpture that's being built. But as it's being taken away, as you dynamite and you blast and the rocks are being taken away, something's always being added in, and that really is your husband's soul and your family, because you're part of this story as much as I'm looking out here as the Lakota people. How important is that for people to know?
Well, I think a lot of people come. We see it, especially now, with a third generation by the hand. And mom or dad will say, well, I was here when I was this big with my folks. And I think it's become generational. And so many of them will comment on the family part of it, because the American family is a wonderful institution.